Well, how's everybody doing out there? Hi, Cookie. Thought I might see you on this stream, seeing how you missed the one earlier today. Glad you're here, though. Got old Luke here. I put front shoes on him earlier today. I run out of time. Baker, you two go lay down. Run out of time, so I'm going to put front shoes on him now. Hi, Andy. How are you guys doing today? Hey, you're all right. Get his feet cleaned off. It's muddy. Hunter, I am absolutely self-qualified. Kind of like being a YouTube certified mechanic. The way I see it, Hunter, if the metal stays underneath them and they're not crippled, I did a good job. Hunter Montgomery, just so the rest of everybody on the stream knows, he's an actual farrier and like a really good one. So he can give me all the crap he wants. So, no, I'm probably not. Okay. Let's see how big of a pain in the butt the Mustang is tonight. He's usually pretty good to shoe. So, Hunter, seeing how you're on stream here, any questions that chat has regarding the correct way to shoe horses, I'm just going to default to you. Because I guarantee you have better answers than I do. Hunter, for all of chat, a consultation fee. Okay, send me an invoice. For all of chat, or everybody on the stream, Hunter and I are friends in real life, away from the YouTube world. At least I'd say we're friends. Hunter might say something different. Does that hurt them? No. It's like trimming your fingernails. I'm going to move you guys a little bit, though. It's just like working on your fingernails. Hi, Caroline. Hunter, have you ever looked at one of your nail lines the next time you go to shoe a horse and you're like, man, that was an ugly nail line? Because, man, this one had some ugly nail lines. but they stayed on. I look at the whole job and think, who the hell did that? Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's exactly how I think about it. Zadie, I have 9 horses. I use most of them to do my job, and the other ones are either too young or too old. My favorite thing to do is look at one of my old shoeing jobs and think, man, I did that like 15 weeks ago. And the shoes are still on. That means I did a good job. KG, this horse's name is Luke. He's about 25 years old, give or take. He's a Mustang. He was caught out of Central Nevada. I've had him since 2018, and when I got him, he was an absolute troublemaker. I got him because he grabbed one of my goddaughters by her hair and threw her over the fence. And my buddy called me and he says, I have this horse that if you don't come get him, I'm going to have to get rid of him one way or another. So I went and got him and have had him ever since. Nice and ugly. Yep, Joey, he's just fine. It's just like trimming your fingernails. A horse's foot's made out of the exact same thing your fingernails are made out of, called keratin. As long as I don't mess up, this will cause him no pain at all. Oh, asking if I was okay? I am not. Well, that depends. Are we talking physically or mentally here? Hunter will probably laugh at me, but I use easy shoes. They're almost pre-shaped and they fit his feet really well. KG, this horse's name is Luke. Luke is moving all over tonight for some reason, so I'll keep adjusting you. So we were open in February or what? If I can figure out a way to afford it, Hunter, I am game. I would love to go. I'll even tell Tom that I'll drive so he has no excuse not to go. He scored. Oh, okay. I probably won't remember that, Ben, but I'll try. I meant shoe the app, did a typo. How often do you shoe Luke? Maybe between every 8 and 12 weeks, depending. Sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little sooner. So, you guys need a farrier, Grayson's Life says? Good farriers are hard to come by. They're worth it when you do find them. So, I'm going to come over here for just a minute. Hunter, you rode Luke when we were working together in Winnemucca, didn't you? Or did you just ride Rush? Vaquero, how are you, Matt? So, Matt, just to clue you in, the chatter right above you, Hunter Montgomery, he's another friend of mine in real life and a pretty decent farrier. Well, at least when I've worked with him, his horses had shoes on, so. Hi, Jose. What? Doing pretty good, Vaquero. Doing good. Kind of hid from the rain all day today. We got quite a bit of it. We dang sure needed it. Finally got my... That Frankie is telling me. He's like, man, what's taking so long? Who are you talking to? Good shot down here. Yeah, we've had a couple good rains the last couple I don't know, last couple weeks off and on. Frank, no, Luke. 10 years ago, Luke might have took a pass at you, but he's pretty gentle these days. So, Hunter, do you twist your nails off, or do you fold them over and cut them with nippers after you get done? You're okay, Mustang. No snow up here yet, Carol. What is your issue? We're being all nervous now. Luke is kind of a big chicken shit sometimes. But he'd be alright. Hey. Baker, get out. You're fine, old man. Still doing deep weight research on it before I make a decision. Get at least a good year, maybe, to see them and study. And Frank, I'd go work for somewhere that has horses, just even on your weekends or your evenings or something, and just get around them a bunch if you haven't been. Rudy says, appreciate you answering my questions. You work late? I've got 7:30 where I'm at. How late do you work? It depends, Rudy. I got, here in about a week, I got to leave for almost a week to go day working, and I need to get a couple horses shod first, so my evenings will look about like this for a while. Sometimes, like during haying season, we'll work all night. Sometimes I got pretty good hours. Got that much rain in Chicago. Ben, that's crazy. But yeah, what Vaquero said, ranch work never ends. Thanks for the sub, Frank. Vaquero is a cowhand himself, so he knows all about the work not ending. You're all right, Mustang. Alright, sorry guys. Luke moved over and you weren't in the shot. Yeah, he wants to get out and try his new shoes, that's for sure. Luke is, he's not the biggest fan of being indoors. Quit. And it's raining outside right now, so I didn't want to do this out in the rain, so I brought him in my little garage. That's why he's tied to a pickup. Ben, horses will take all the money you have. Hunter, use the code Grateful 2025. You'll get 10% off that rope right now. So, good time to buy a rope. I'm going to move all my tools to this side. Hey, you too, Hunter. Take care. Call me about that roping. Yeah, 2 horses. If you're gonna feed them twice a day, I mean, shoot, there's some horses that live in a 20 by 20 box stall their whole life. But to be a horse and enjoy themselves, an acre, pretty good spread for them. What's it? I can't say that name, but this horse's name is Luke. He's got his back end towards us right now because I'm working on his back feet. Luke's about 24, 25 years old. He's a Mustang. So we don't know his exact age. But I've had him since 2018. He was a real jerk when I got him, and he's been my #1 guy for a couple years now, but he's in the first stages of retirement. He knows what that word means. Do you get in the future for a beginner? I wouldn't say necessarily a breed is the most important aspect. I would focus on getting something that's old, been there, done that. Just a kind of a good old boy sort of horse. Typically, quarter horses are going to be great. You're going to, as a beginner, you'd probably want to stay away from like Arabians or thoroughbreds because they're just kind of more wound up and stuff like that. Not as easy going most of the time. There are exceptions to that rule. But I would make sure and get something that's broke well enough to be able to do what you want and to where you can get along with him. And would you quit moving? You're making this a pain. Don't ever get in the train of thought that me and the horse are going to learn together, because that's just a wreck waiting to happen. If a person doesn't know anything, the horse needs to know it all. And when the person knows a lot, they can deal with a horse that doesn't know very much. How much did I pay for Luke? I didn't pay a dime for Luke. I traded a really nice horse for him. To make a long story really short, I had an old horse that was really good with kids. One of my best friends had this horse. This horse grabbed one of his little girls, probably 4 or 5 years old, by her hair and threw her over the fence. And he called me and said, I need to get this horse off the property today or tomorrow. He's young. What do you got to trade? And we made the trade. Worked out good. His little girl's got a really good horse, and I ended up with a really good horse in the end. Are you going to quit moving? If I move the camera, are you going to quit moving? He says no. Yeah, Ben. I try not to use profanity on my channel, but Luke was an asshole. What are we doing here? You bet. Ask all the questions you like. That's what I'm here for, is to answer them. And Luke's ways didn't change overnight when I got him. We had several discussions, shall we say. Name is Johnson in India. Well, glad to have you here. Thanks for watching. How much are they worth? Horses can be worth nothing all the way up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Right now, Luke's not worth very much because he's so old. I could probably sell him for $5,000 or $6,000 right now. I have some horses that it would take like 30, 35,000 to buy them from me. I won't have them on the live stream tonight, but I do have plenty of videos of them on my channel. So I'm gonna keep trying to turn this for you guys so you can stay in the shot here. Ben says, deeply appreciate the advice. Definitely keep that in the back of my mind in the future. Yeah, no problem. I have a lot of videos on this channel, Ben, that a person could really learn a lot from. Quit. That's one of the things I enjoy most about my channel is sharing my knowledge. Miss Hummingbird says, I never knew horses could be that mean. Oh yeah. You used to run claimers. Okay, Deke, you got me. What's a claimer? Does that hurt the horse? Nope, Colton, a horse's foot is made out of the same material as your eyes' fingernails. So as long as I don't get too deep or too far towards the inside of the horse's foot, he can't feel any of this. Other than like when you're clipping your fingernails, you can feel the clip, but not the actual cutting of it. Horse is the same way. How can you be less scared of horses? Get somewhere that's got gentle horses and be around them. Claiming races. Is that... Okay, that's still a term I haven't heard before. Hunter, buy the 3-strand. It could be horrible. A horse who lived across from my grandparents was beat. When I went to feed him, he nose punched me in the chest and bit my hand and wouldn't let go, but he is a young stinker. Thanks, Hunter. Horses that have been mistreated like that, they're just on the fight. You know, you can't really blame them. Spiro, good to see you too. It's been a while, my friend. What's a horse average on price, you mean? $2,000 for an average horse. Life expectancy, 25, 30. Luke is definitely old. Horses, typically people start considering them in their later stages of life when they're in their late teens. So. See, now you want step one again. Why don't you quit? He's going to give you guys a show. Right there. I don't know why he's being such a pain tonight. He's mad at me. He wants his dinner. All right. Get the nippers out here. I'm going to adjust the camera stand here a little bit, guys. And see if I can get you guys a better shot. All right, Ben, adios. No competition. I'm a working cowboy, so I use him to do my job. You got a horse in your halter yet? All right, Vaquero, sleep well. Frank, if I were to start a horse transportation business, I wouldn't get a horse trailer that I could haul less than 6 at a time. Because the more horses you have behind you, the more money you're making. Not that you'll always fill that, but you don't want to turn down good paying jobs when you get the opportunity. Hi, Dara. How are you? There's a lot of money in horse transport. It's one of those industries, though, where it takes money to make money. For sure. That would be the sound of Hunter buying that rope on my Shopify store, if you guys heard that. Do you do rodeos with him? I have done some ranch rodeos with him, Miss Hummingbird. And he does pretty good for me. Those are set up a little bit different than like a regular pro rodeo. So, in terms of like how a pro rodeo would be set up with the team roping and stuff, Luke's not trained for that. I could probably go do it on him, but I wouldn't be super competitive. But for like ranch rodeos where the events are more based on real life ranch work, he's done his job well, and I've always got nervous and choked. Yep, Frank, I still ride him. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, he's kind of going into retirement now, so I'll just use him on my shorter days. By trade, I'm a professional cowboy, so riding is part of my job most days, a lot of days. There's a ton of videos on my channel where I'm riding him. Okay. This shoe is just a little bit, ouch, a little bit too wide for his foot. So I'm going to bring it over to my anvil here. And narrow it up. Take it back and see how it fits. A real farrier would have a forge. I'm not a real farrier. I've never worked with a forge. I would like to eventually, but I appreciate that, Frank. You ever short some of that hoof powder? No, no. There's a bunch of it around. That's for sure. I made it a hair too narrow. That's an easy fix too. I can just work it on my anvil right here. Neither. For those of you that don't know, dogs love to eat hoof trimmings. So, after I get done shoeing Luke here tonight, I'm sure my dogs will be in the garage cleaning up. I normally don't shoe him in the garage here. Well, why, Luke? Why? Hey, come on. It. Just stand here. Like I was saying, I normally don't shoe him in the garage, but it's raining enough outside, I didn't want to do it outside. Alright, that'll work. Miss Hummingbird, I live about an hour from Carson City. I spent plenty of time raising hell in Carson City when I was in high school. Wife was a farrier for 10 years, but I'm no good. I'll stick to working cows. You're a smart man if you married a farrier. I love my wife dearly. And I'd love her even more if she shod my horses for me. You need these camera robots that turn and move with you. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Frank. Unfortunately, things are expensive. So, maybe someday when the YouTube channel's making enough money, I'll buy one of them. My setup's pretty basic. I just got a couple GoPros and my phone and a tripod. Most of my videos, you'll see, but most of my videos are just first person point of view from me wearing the GoPro while I work. With it. After I put those first two nails in, I always like to set their foot down and see how the shoe sits underneath the foot. Yeah, Miss Hummingbird, he wears an aught. He's got kind of small feet for his body size, but they are very well shaped. He actually has pretty good feet. Crucifying the horse. No, XTC, we're just putting a set of shoes on him here. Jesus is king. Hi. Amen to that. Jesus is king. For sure and for certain. And he will be back. Yep, just putting shoes on him. Quiet. You realize the more you move your foot, Luke, the more times I have to hit it, right? Alright. Good. Enough of your shit, man. Luke is kind of being a pain. In his defense, though, this is usually about the time of the night that I'm feeding dinner. Dog is creeping his knee. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the dogs might be looking for trimmings. How many hands is Luke? I think he's like 15 too, give or take a little bit. He's not, he's not the biggest horse, but he's good size. See, Luke, I'm gonna pull that one out. Sometimes. 15 hands tall for a Mustang? Yeah. He's for a Mustang, he is pretty good sized. That's for sure. They tend to be a little bit on the smaller side. Thank you. See? It was so hard. Hi, Rudy, by the way. He's got a lot of bone for a Mustang. So I would guess that at some point in his lineage, quite a ways back, there's some draft horse. Mustangs are actually kind of mean too. They're just about anything you can say about a Mustang, you can say about an average horse. I mean, they have all sorts of different dispositions and demeanors. Luke was dang sure mean when he was younger. And he doesn't... Yeah, Rudy, my name's Corey. You can call me that. Luke doesn't particularly... He's not the friendliest horse by any means. But I had a Mustang about 10 years ago, and that Mustang, he loved people. He would rather be with people than with other horses. So they're not all mean, and they're not all friendly. Let's see here. Here we go. That set of shoes is done. Nice lady. He does have a touch of arthritis in his front knees. And it's only shown up about the last 3 months. Your mother-in-law uses the same altitude. I gotta remember that one. That's a good one. So yeah, he does have a touch of arthritis in his front legs, his front knees. That's why he's in the first stages of retirement. Basically, what that's going to mean for him is no big days on the desert. I'll still use him for small days on the inside country or something like that. My wife can brand calves off him, stuff like that. I said earlier, I'm not sure if you were here or not, but I've had him since 2018. He's about 10 years older than I was told he was. The stamp on the Mustang's neck gives you an estimated age, and the state was off by about 10 years. So unfortunately, he's retiring 10 years earlier than I expected, but also got a couple years of light use out of him, I'm sure. He's in pretty good shape for his age. Yeah, I know. Come here, you gotta be sociable now. Turn him around here so you guys can talk with him. You know about the disease for horses? Yeah, the EHV. I don't have any places that I'm going, any rodeos or anything like that EHV is a concern for me. The only places I have planned going are other ranches, and they don't have any horses going to rodeos or anything like that. So, it is dang sure something to think about. If I had other people coming in and out of my place with horses, I would definitely have to take some precautions and make sure everybody stays minding their own manners and stuff. A nice lady, he was rounded up from central Nevada, a little bit south of Eureka, Nevada. Susie? Luke, Susie says you're beautiful. That's his shy look. What do you think? He wants to be done. Hi, Adeline. Hi, Ham. Good to see you guys. I've worked cows my whole life, but never on horses. We really like to return. Any advice other than buy a finished horse? Go learn how to ride him and how to work cows from somebody that's very experienced in it. You can have somebody that knows how to ride a horse and a nice broke horse, and if neither one of them's ever worked cows, or even if the horses work cows and the person hasn't, it'll be a wreck. So I would dang sure find somebody that knows how to work cows horseback, because it is different than working from a foot. And dang sure different than working from a four-wheeler. Yeah, Susie, Luke's a character. He really is. Aztec, yeah, he was a Mustang. He deserves a good dinner, you too. Yeah, you can see him, he keeps licking his lips and looking at me. He knows it's dinner time as soon as we go back to to where he lives at, to his corral there. I'm gonna sit down for just a moment. So Luke is a good looking horse, good looking old boy. Yes, he is. He's done a lot of work for me. Yeah, he wants dinner. I'm probably going to give the stream about 5 more minutes, guys, and then shut her down. But it's always kind of fun to talk to everybody. Am I giving lessons? Charlie, my channel is a huge resource, and I don't say that out of pride or to brag or anything, but one of my favorite things about having my YouTube channel is being able to share the knowledge that I have acquired the hard way and the long way. There's no replacement for hours in a saddle, but hopefully I can help somebody ease the learning curve a little bit. It's good to meet you too, Rudy. I hope to see you. Aztec says, is it expensive to own a horse? Yeah, there's a term called horse poor, and it's pretty true. I'd probably have a couple new pickups and probably have a house and stuff like that if I didn't have horses. But instead I got old pickups with 300,000 miles on them, and I live in housing provided by the ranch I work for. Susie, no, I'll tell the long story in a short version on Luke. I had a really good old horse that was really good with kids, and one of my best friends calls me and he says, hey, do you have any horse flesh to trade? And I says, I might. What are you looking for? He says, I need something that's good for my girls. And I said, yeah, I've got a horse that's getting too old for me to use, and what do you got to trade? And he says, well, I got a Mustang. He just grabbed my oldest girl by her hair and threw her over the fence. And if I don't get him off the property tomorrow, I'm going to shoot him. So I loaded the yellow horse up the next morning and drove down, and we traded, and I got Luke. And Luke was an absolute outlaw for about 6 months when I first started using him. And we had several discussions, and he ended up being one of the best horses I've ever had. So that's how I got Luke. He denies the whole story, but it's all true. He's a sweet baby. He is when he wants fed. What state am I in? I'm in Nevada. Appreciate your honesty. I hear a lot of people want a horse or two just to have on 2 acres grazing. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with, like if you got a couple acres, your front yard or whatever's got some feed that a horse can eat, and you take some, like an old retired horse who just needs a couple years to live out the last of his life, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Probably here another 2 or 3 years, Luke will be at the stage where I won't be riding him anymore. And if somebody says, hey, he can come live out the rest of my life in his front yard, I'll take care of him. I'll probably just give him to him, just so he gets a good life. He's been licking his lips ever since you've been talking. Yep. Hi, Echo. So, okay, guys, we'll go about a minute more, and then I'm going to go get old Luke some dinner here. All the other horses are talking to me, too. They all know I'm a little bit late tonight. All right, lady. Thanks, Echo. You have a good night, too. So, I appreciate you guys. Echo, he's a Mustang. He's about 25 years old. So, Charlie, you take it easy too. I appreciate you watching. Echo, check out the channel and tune in for some more live streams. We're just getting over on this one, but we'll hope to see you on another one. Aztec, you have a good night too. Night, Rudy. Shade Trees, good luck. Did Ford make him? Nope, not that kind of Mustang. Alrighty, guys. Everybody have a good night.